Hey, I'm Beardman and welcome to my channel. You should be knowing my real name, by the way. It's Avinash. I'm based in New Delhi. I'm 30 years old now and I'm teaching art, especially in this video. So this is the first episode of Basics of Drawing where what are we doing today? Yeah, 3 tips for pencil use with which you can improve your drawings, especially if you are a beginner. Okay, so tip number 1 is unlearning what you have been doing with a pencil. So what happens is that whenever we are writing with pencils, and we have been writing with them for a long time, right? So whenever we do that, what happens is that you use the wrist a lot. The wrist movement is there and not the arm movement. Okay, but if I want to contradict that point, it would be this. For an artist, pencil is nothing but a wand. It's not a tool for you, but it's an extension of your arm. So whenever you are drawing, you try to use most of your arms. So as you can see here, instead of using my wrist for this line sketch, what I'm doing here is I'm using my entire arm. What it does is it brings in a lot of confidence in you. You wouldn't be realizing that at this point of time, but the lines become straight as you have more bandwidth to work on. It doesn't matter if you have a bigger or a smaller canvas, but when you're using your wrist, your hand moves like this. But when you're using an arm, you can get more straighter lines with more confidence. The more practice you would do, the better you'll get at it. Okay, so point number 1 is to unlearn what you have been doing with a pencil and try to use your wrist. So point number 2 is draw straight lines. Continuing with point number 1, now you know how to hold a pencil, now you know what you want to do about it, and we are going to try to draw some straight lines. Make sure that your straight lines do not have hooks like these. These don't look good. Whenever a pro artist is reviewing your work, they would easily know at what level you are as an artist. Alright, the one giveaway out of that are the straight lines. How you get a line quality in check. Okay, the first point that I have discussed, again I'm telling you, is that the repetitive strokes would definitely help you in terms of getting the straight lines with confidence. Alright, and there are several ways of doing it. Like if you hold the pencil right at the back and try to draw straight lines with your arms, the lines are going to get better with every practice session. Alright, and that takes us to point number 3. Always look ahead. Okay, so let me zoom into the artwork a little bit. Alright, so here what's happening is I'm drawing a straight line. Now you see, after a little bit of practice, my lines are getting a little bit straighter. Okay, so whenever I'm drawing a straight line, what's happening is that where am I looking? It's not very evident at where my eyesight is. Okay, it's just like driving. For instance, if you're driving a car, suppose, so are you watching ahead of you or what's going to come in front of you? Are you watching that, or are you watching the bonnet of the car? Definitely what's ahead of you, otherwise you would go for a head-on collision, right? So in drawing as well, when I'm drawing straight line, my eyes are not looking at the pencil tip. Okay, and this also comes with confidence. Okay, your hand-eye coordination should be at a point where you naturally look before where the line is going to go. Okay, so whenever I am drawing a line, I'm making sure that I'm looking ahead of the line, and in that way what happens is most probably the line is going to be a little bit straighter. Alright, the final and the only tip additional to these would be the line practice. Okay, so how do I do a line practice? Okay, so suppose this is a page and here I have made 2 dots over here and 2 more dots over here. Alright, now what I have to do is I have to draw straight lines, parallel lines, and at the same time I'll have to maintain the gap between them, and these lines are not there, so I have to make sure that these lines are also somewhat at a level playing field. They shouldn't be drastically going up and down, and there should be a timer. For me, what I do is I put a 10-minute timer and I go ahead with it, and I do it about about once or twice a month, especially whenever I'm taking workshops. In that, we repeatedly do this, so I get to practice it more. And this exercise, what it does is it warms me up for my further drawings, and at the same time gives my drawings a lot of confidence. Okay, so here with the 10 minutes timer, I'm just trying to draw these straight lines, and because there's a timer, you are under pressure because you have to finish it by hook or by crook. Alright, otherwise you don't qualify. And then there are several other instances in which you can go wrong, and you should get past that. Okay, so it's a pretty good warm-up exercise. And with this, what happens is that when you are done, you will realize that the initial lines were not great. In the middle, when you are at a sweet spot, the lines started getting better and better and better. And after that, when you saw it has its own story, as you can see. So with this, you can keep a check on your artworks. Okay, so let's quickly summarize. Number one, you need to unlearn what you have been doing, and you need to start using your entire arm. And there are several different ways of holding a pencil to draw a circle, to draw lines, and whatnot, right? Second one is straight lines. Okay, so your straight lines should actually look like straight lines. They shouldn't have any hooks or curves to it. And thirdly, to draw the straight lines, you'll have to look ahead instead of looking at the pencil tip. Okay, so always look ahead. Okay, and how do you practice it? I have just shown you. And with that, this episode is over, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.